Hello and welcome to Project Talk, your favorite 7 p.m. on a Thursday night along the Eastern Seaboard with one American and one Canadian live stream. I think I'll get the rhythm down on that. For those of you who don't know, I am Glenn from Fun King 3D and Fun King Garage, and with me, as always, is my brother from another mother, James.
It's a me.
As you can see by James's little box down there, he is now the Time Traveling Technologist.
I did do a little bit of rebranding on the retro channel because I realized that the further that the two channels diverge, the more confusing print and play is going to be attached to that channel. So I decided, after investing heavily in designs for merch, that why not scrap it all? And
Well, it's only money.
so that was the thing. I was talking to somebody, and I'm like, well, I've got all the merchandise that I made that nobody ever bought.
Yeah, that's rough, but
It's okay.
but you're right. I mean, in the beginning, you wanted to ride your own coattails,
Yeah.
and those
And then
coattails took you further than the coat.
and I think I've realized now too that in terms of like cross linking between the channels, I think that the audiences that share the two have already, made the jump. There will not be a continued presence transferring from one to the other. So
Right, that makes sense. I mean, you might still pick up some that are both, but
yeah,
that's gonna just happen naturally anyway.
I'm considering because of how Star Trek oriented all my stuff ends up being, going with the time traveling Trekologist. I thought that would be funny, but I think you can only change your name on YouTube once every 90 days. So
Well,
I
and
think
the thing is too is like that might lump you into.
a tighter niche.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I'm stuck with garage related stuff.
You and your Fun King Garage.
I was going to show some gardening, but no, I don't really do gardening. I might have to if food prices keep going the way they are, though.
Fun King Garage and Hose. Uh,
uh, no,
I
I
think
actually I felt good enough that I did some work in the garage this week, so that was a nice change.
I felt
Yesterday,
good, and I knew that I would.
yeah. Well, yesterday I was still a little draggy, and I thought, oh, maybe I'll just take a break today, but nope, I pushed myself and got out there. I'm fighting allergies right now. That's why I'm sniffly. I'm not sick, at least.
Do you say allergies or Algorgies?
Gorgies.
Fighting Al Gore? Jeez.
Fighting some Algor. No, just allergies. My eyes get real itchy, so sometimes I gotta like rub my eyes with sandpaper.
Brian
So
only wants to know how you are. He doesn't want to know how I am.
yeah, he doesn't care about you. He knows you're late, and that's all that
Uh,
matters.
well, he's just like
Brian,
everybody else.
Brian does get bragging rights tonight because I see that he was first, so he gets bragging rights. Uncle Ron is also here. Sergio is here.
He was
3D
first
Medic
is
Vince said
last.
he came in like a weather balloon, which is really funny to me. Is that funny to
Sponsorship.
Canada? It's funny to America.
That's just the evolution of TikTok, right?
The evolution of TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be delivered to you by a weather balloon from now on.
A friend was telling me that the airplane that shot it down, this is its like first confirmed air kill.
Yeah, it's the first time that it's ever had an actual air-to-air combat
Okay.
with something. Like we've had those jets now for a while, but
Four
we
score.
haven't been in a war situation where we used them. We've been ground warred for so long, fighting in the desert. So
I installed RGB lighting above the brick at the back so I could make it change colors. Look at how well it works.
okay, that put a blue hue on it.
Ever so slightly.
Yeah. Yeah, but you don't want it to be too much. I fought with these too. I mean, these are spotlights just to get some light in the corner, but they look white to me, but they're yellow.
I do see a yellow tinge, but I think all that this has succeeded in doing is highlighting the wrinkles that are
On the
on the backdrop. And the thing, I bought a steamer and I went to town on it trying to get the wrinkles out. And it's like I got rid of the like permanent creases, but the more I got rid of them, the rest of it seemed to like deform. Well, not like deform because it's not that, but like it started to sag a little bit, and now it's just got like ruffles in it.
Oh, is that a vinyl?
It is.
Huh. I wonder if like just a regular iron wouldn't be better. Obviously put something between it and the vinyl towel or whatever.
The other problem is it's like 10 by 10.
So you
So
got nowhere to lay it down.
yeah, exactly. I'd have to
Yeah.
do it in sections, and doing it in sections just means that other parts are going to get wrinkled as I move it along.
Well, you should take it to the dry cleaners.
Yeah.
To answer Brian's question, I am actually fine. Again, I had a little bit of energy this week, so I guess I can give a little away without really giving it away. I built a new bench in the garage this week. I told you guys that there's Glenn Hogue slipping in. I
Glenn
bought a
with the
second
hoagie.
42-inch roller box. Harbor Freight calls them 44s. They're only 44 if you measure the handle. It's a 42. I'm sorry, Harbor Freight, but stop cheating. Anyway, so I bought a second 42-inch. So now I have 2 stacks. And if you follow me on Insta, I posted a picture of that. I don't think I've posted the picture of the bench yet. If you don't follow me on Instagram, what's wrong with you? But I wanted a real bench. I wanted something that I could absolutely just hammer on. I don't know how well this is going to work, but we're going to try this weird technology thing. It's not focusing. Doesn't like that. So, all right. So I built that bench. I built that bench right there. And it's 3 feet. It's 3 feet deep. It's got a 2x12 top on it. Like it's done in 2x12s. Thing is super solid. And I can take it out of there. I can put my hydraulic cart underneath it, jack it up, and slide it out of there if I need to work on the electrical panel or whatever. So I tell you all of this to say that when I started filming the video, which will be coming, it's going to be the first non-automotive project video on the channel, just because I want to see how it does. But when I opened the video, I did my little intro, and then I went over and I opened the garage door, and I backed the truck a little ways into the garage to unload the wood. And I said, "Well, that's going to be fun because I just backed a truck in that's not done yet." It's tough being me, like I don't know how to handle being myself.
Being yourself or beating yourself?
Both. I want to.
There's a joke, but I'm not going to make it.
What's that?
I said there's a joke there, but I'm not going to make it.
Yeah, I was up to 430 subscribers, and I've lost 2 in 2 days.
So. I lost a few after I changed my name.
Oh, really? People remembered that they were sub to you, and they're like, "Huh.
Why did I do that now?"
They think you're a conspiracy theorist with your
my time traveling ways.
With your time traveling ways, yeah.
Let's see if I can pull this tighter. You guys can tell me if it looks better. Also, there's my butt. Hope you enjoyed it.
No extra charge for that.
Usually that's an OnlyFans exclusive, but
Adam said hanging outside on a hot sunny day.
Oh wait, Canada. I did see that. So I think first of all, all the wrinkles that I ironed out actually came back. Isn't that something?
Probably stuck in there for so long. Somebody left me. Why isn't this showing the comments? I hate YouTube.
Well, YouTube hates you.
As we're on YouTube. I get, as you know, you get little notifications when people leave you comments. And somebody left me, and I'm not even sure what video it is. It's on one of the Fummins, but they left me a really nice comment today. And that always, like when you're feeling like you're working so hard and not getting anywhere, and then somebody comes along and leaves you a nice comment, well, even a rude comment, whatever. they took the time to leave a comment. It just really boosts your morale. I put a Fun King Garage sticker on my new cup.
That's how you make your merch, just brand it all that way?
Yep, I just stick stickers on stuff. So that everybody knows, I do technically have shirts available. I have a couple different stickers, and I have some stickers that are exclusive for my Patreon followers, which I still have 0 of. So I can, like all of my Patreon supporters up to this point have gotten free Ferraris.
Yep.
But that offer has ended. So
That was the super early bird special.
Tony Ryan popped in and said, "Time travel, where am I? When am I?" We're going to have to tell that story multiple times through the stream tonight so that people know.
That looks worse.
And Red Like Mike has joined us. How are you, Mike?
That looks worse.
That looks worse. It does look worse.
I was trying to, I'll just like pull it as tight as I can.
Yeah, no, you got to turn all the lights back on.
Sometimes
Sergio wants to know if you can take back 50 years. I don't think that. Well, obviously, I wouldn't want to go back 50 years because I'm only 50. But and it's not that I don't want to be younger, but I wouldn't want to give up what I have in life now. Like it would not be. Now, if I could stay where I am and be younger, that would be okay. But no way would I give up my life to go back and be younger. So. Well, Adam said he didn't know it wasn't real brick until you messed with
it. There. Looks moderately okay now.
just black the room out and and then get a flashlight. Get a flashlight and do the I'm the leprechaun. Tony said that's better. Oops, worse again.
Worse again.
Looks fine in the dark, like my face. That's what Uncle Ron said.
Here, I'll just do this.
Oh, so
I'm the leprechaun.
I'm the leprechaun. So last week, I'm assuming you didn't go back and watch the stream because I wouldn't have.
I watched parts of it, but I didn't see the whole thing.
So
I just wanted to see how badly you biffed it.
I think. Not that I don't. I always talk to myself, like all the time. It's really why I started recording for YouTube, is so I have a reason to be talking to myself. But yeah, last week I brought in my little Playmate lunchbox full of hardware and began sorting it, which I was going to bring in more tonight. But
was that last week or the week before?
No, it was last week when you weren't here.
Because I remember you going through your thing and pulling out token ring adapters and stuff.
No, that was going through my computer bag.
Oh, I see.
No, I went
a man of many bags.
Yeah, that whole thing was like, I mean, this is all just like screws. So
I always knew you had a few loose screws.
I have I have a whole bunch. I have a cart, and in the top of that cart is like this little bucket and that igloo cooler. I mean, not right now because they're in here, but and anytime that I have extra hardware, I just throw it in that cart. Then when I need hardware, I don't go to that cart to get it because that's too confusing, too messy. So Uncle Ron said I carry 2 cell phones so I can call myself and have full conversations. No, I just do it. I do it out in the open, and I don't even care. I don't care if people come across me when I'm talking to myself, because some of my greatest ideas are brought to my attention by myself. Like I bring it to my own attention. So but yes, so that was it was a good busy task. Like I could sort.
You could get busy with it. I got it.
And still be able to read the chat. So I think it worked well. We had a pretty good turnout last week. People
actually showed up when I wasn't here?
people were like, "Oh, James isn't there. We can go watch the stream now." Uh,
Bless you.
Tony said last week we watched Glenn clean his lunchbox. Next week, he's going to trim his toenails. Oh God, you don't even want to see my toenails. Feet Finder pays me to not put pictures of my feet up. No, so then I got to meet some of the new neighbors. We got new neighbors down the road, and they stopped by the other night while I was building the bench to ask me some questions about my lift, because they're building a garage and they want to. Oh no, I didn't mean it that way. I'm so sorry.
I don't think I'll be going to Murph this year. I have destination weddings and limited vacation.
Well, you need to tell your friends too freaking bad. You have Murph to go to. I didn't go last year because you weren't going, and you were going to go this year. And now you're telling me you're not going to go this year?
You'll survive.
And Mike has some old computer stuff for you. Oh, well, you'll just have to give it to me, and then I'll rub it in on James. I'll be like, I got all this old stuff that you didn't get.
Honestly, starting next year, I get extra vacation. Like I've been there long enough that I'm going to get an extra 2 days of vacation a year. So that'll be like my con time.
Yeah. Uncle Ron said the house behind you. No, that house behind me ever goes up for sale, I'm buying it. Like, whatever I got to do, I'm buying that. I'm going to bulldoze it and move my property line back. But no, they were decent people. Oddly enough, my next door neighbor, my good friend next door, he's Mike, and the neighbor on the other side of him is Mike, and now this new guy is Mike, and I'm like, the whole neighborhood's just gonna be Mike, which is great for me because I suck at remembering names.
It's open mic night,
so I'll just call everybody Mike, and then it'll be fine. But no, so they want to have a garage put in, and they were asking about the lift, and like, I always have more information than any one person could ever want to have. So I was giving them the rundown, and then they came up in conversation. They needed to have concrete poured, and I said, "Oh, I know," because I said, wherever you're going to put the lift, have them dig the dirt down and go, an inch or two thicker right there. It's not necessary, but it's a good plan. And they said, we're just trying to keep costs down. And I said, it's not really that much more expensive. And I said to Leah, that's what I do for a living. I estimate concrete and block. And she said, oh, well, can you give me a quote? So that opened up that whole ball of wax for my company to now build their garage. But as the conversation went on, and it didn't hit me at first, but as the conversation went on, she said, oh yeah, he's got an old car that's worth more than me. And he kind of chuckled, and he's like, no, I have a 70 Charger. And I'm like, oh, you got a 70 Charger. So I love when new car guys move in the neighborhood, because it's great. And he said, he goes, I'm not really like a master mechanic or anything. I do enough to get by. And I'm like, oh, that's cool, whatever. He said, no, he goes, I'm not a genius mechanic. And I said, that's fine, because I am. But yeah, the other day, so working upstairs, like, you'll hear big trucks and stuff, and I'm always curious, so I look out the window to see. And the other day there was a transport, a semi auto transport, the enclosed kind, backing down the side street. So that must have been them delivering the car. So
I do look forward to getting old computers from you guys the next time we get to hang out. And Uncle Ron's got a VHS camcorder for me too. I believe it's a GE.
Well, we could make it where, you show up at Murph and you'll have to rent a U-Haul to get everything home.
We can't go that extreme, unfortunately. I have limited space in the fact that I'm technically out of space right now.
I have that same problem.
No, I have to film tomorrow. I have to figure out what to do about this, but I don't know.
All right. So if the light is like it is now, it's really not noticeable. Not unless you go looking for it. I mean, over your other shoulder,
like back there.
Yeah, I can see a couple of.
Well, you can see the shelf through it. Unfortunately, it's not quite as thick as I had hoped either.
Yeah. So, but I mean, if you're not looking, nobody's gonna look for that. I mean, I've had a dead rat laying over here on. No, I'm just kidding. Uncle Ron wants to know if the destination weddings are at least in cool places, or are they in places like L.A.?
The ones in Costa Rica.
Oh, okay.
So never been. I forget about the other stuff, but
Adam said you didn't Hank Hill it and stand on the back alley with Mike and Mike talk about the neighbor. I actually haven't talked to next door neighbor Mike in a couple of days.
I thought they were all next door neighbor Mikes.
Well, the other one is I have Mike and other neighbor Mike, and now other neighbor Mike. So growing up, I had a bunch of friends named Tim. So where I lived, the guy who lived directly behind us, his name was Tim. And then I had my friend Tim, which my friend Tim got the nickname, and I don't even remember where it came from. He might chime in. I know he tunes into the streams once in a while, but we used to call him Dickie Tim. I guess because he's a little Dickie. But so then all of a sudden we meet the guy behind where I bought my house, and his name was Tim, so he became Neighbor Tim. So we had Dickie Tim and Neighbor Tim. Well, my cousin's name is also Tim. And then when I moved, the next door neighbor there was also named Tim. So like there was all these Tims. And so when I met the other, like the new neighbor Tim, I was telling him the story. I'm like, man, we got to come up with a nickname for you because I know all these Tims. And he goes, I just want to be known as other neighbor Tim. Right now, I just to make it perfectly clear, I want to be other neighbor Tim. Because I told him about my friend Dickie Tim, and he's like, yeah, no, I just want to be other neighbor Tim. So, yeah. So too many mics, but it'll be fine. It's fine. It's nice to have more car guys in the neighborhood. Tony said the first sign of Alzheimer's is what? I don't remember. Dude, we're going back like 30 years ago now. Like, how am I supposed to remember that stuff? I could probably tell you what I had for lunch that day. Yeah, I've got to buckle down and get some video editing done. I'm just really dreading it. I'm to the point where I hate doing it. And that's not a good thing.
That's too bad.
Yeah. I think as I get into the newer stuff, it'll be better. But editing because I didn't film all the fun stuff from the perspective of being the guy who was editing it. I just filmed it as the guy doing it, you know? So, but like when I did my mom's car, which is one of my most top viewed videos, just super
top
funny,
viewed videos.
But when I filmed that, I knew that I was going to be editing it, and I filmed it differently. Like I had pictured the whole thing in my head, and then I just made the video turn out like that. And right now, what I'm doing is I'm digging through hours and hours and hours. I mean, I 7-8 hours a day I was filming, and there was a lot of times where I'd be working, and I'm just like, I want to listen to music, and I'd play music. Well, then I have a hard time using that part of the video. All this AI technology, and nobody can. I think it blocked Tony because he said slit.
Well, hopefully he learned a lesson.
But I don't know. I think it'll get better. I just need to always remember that I'm filming, and I need the video. But with all this AI technology, how come nobody has come out with an AI that will remove audio, like music, from the background and actually have it work?
NVIDIA is probably working on it because they've already got that system that removes static and like Did you ever see the Barnacules video where he had like the fan running?
Yeah. Yeah, but
Yes.
have you seen the new thing where you can read a
Look-
teleprompter and it makes your eyeballs look like they're looking at the camera?
Yeah, it's kind of creepy.
No, it's brilliant. Xander downloaded it and installed it on his machine. It's absolutely brilliant. I mean,
He's
it's
actually trolling you. He didn't install it. He's like, yeah, check it out. Look at how well this worked. And it's just him looking so that it'll screw up your next video.
oh yeah, no. We did a couple of experiments with it. Tony said, "Wait, I'm blocked." No. Just your message was held for moderation.
Gotta get it moderated.
Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, it's Jake from State Farm. Matt, how are you? I mentioned you back a few weeks ago because we hadn't seen you in so long. Welcome to the stream. It's good to know that you're still around. But yeah, Tony said you need to cut a slit in your brick wall so that Kate can come by periodically and poke her head through. There's a shelving unit back behind there.
Yes, I would be extremely concerned if that actually that ever happened.
It'd be like Kool-Aid Man. She come crashing through the
yeah.
whole wall. How is your Oh, Matt said he misses us and he's been super busy with work. What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm? How is your bathroom project?
It's coming along.
It's a weird question without prefacing. James is having his bathroom renovated.
Yeah, it's coming along. One wall of the 3 walls is tiled right now. And the membrane for the heated floor is down, but is not wired because he showed up to do it today and said, "Hey, did they leave the wiring here for it?" And I don't know. They tossed a bunch of boxes in a pile and that's where they've lived. So I don't think they left the wire. So he did what he could today and then vamoosed.
Man, construction people piss me off so bad.
So they let me know today that he'll be continuing to tile over the weekend, which we weren't expecting, but given the choice, I'd rather have my bathroom back sooner rather than later. So if that's how it's going to happen, then.
Hello, MJ. Welcome to the stream.
Bear with me for a second here.
As a guy that works for a construction company, we as a company strive to not be like your typical construction company. I mean, like, we don't miss appointments. We get out, we get the job done. Every job, like it's the old cliche of under promise, over deliver. That's absolutely how my company works. Except for the estimating department, we're terrible. Like, we'll be like, "You want to win?" I don't think so.
That's not the way this works. I'm sorry to tell you.
Matt said, "Still waiting for Papa Elon to let me back on Twitter." Oh, I'll shoot him a text and ask him to get that taken care of. Yeah, I thought they were just going to lift everybody's bans.
Well, they did lift a bunch of bans, but then they started banning people again.
Those Twitter people are in a lot of trouble. I don't know if you caught any of that on the news today.
But, there is news today?
Well, yeah, because they have to hide other news that they don't want you to see. So
I see.
Yeah, I can't really elaborate on that without going political. So but
you go political? I can't imagine that.
They had the Twitter people in front of a congressional hearing, just absolutely grilling them. And like the one lady she said, "Where did you get your medical degree from?" And she's like, "Well, I don't have a medical degree." And she goes, "I figured that. Where do you get off censoring information that came from a doctor that went to Yale and blah 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 like this?" It was good stuff. Good stuff. Scott McClellan has joined us. He said, "Just arrived home, turned on your stream, didn't recognize where James was streaming from." And then he gets up and pulls down the brick wall. Well, actually, James is actually broadcasting from 2050. He is a time traveling technologist, but he can only go forward in time. He can never come back.
I can broadcast backwards, so I can send you guys signals from where I've been. So if you want lottery numbers,
Well, oh, that would be glorious. Tony Ryan said, "How about that Chinese balloon?" Yeah. Oh, that was fun. Yeah. Look at this balloon. Don't look at what's going on over here in the news. No, just keep looking at this balloon. But yes. Oh, these allergies are just driving me insane. I had to go get allergy eye drops because, the little, I don't know, whatever this part of your eye is called, right where it hits your nose.
Oh, it's the booty hole.
They get so itchy, and I just grind in there, and then it hurts.
Let's see. Does that look better? I'm not expecting it to look good under this light, but this light seems to be the best at showing how terrible it is.
So wrinkled.
I think it looks better now than it did this way, though.
Yeah, you just got to keep the light from the face. Yeah, because I don't see those wrinkles off to your left side.
Yeah, I folded it and then pulled it tight, so it also hides the shelving unit behind. But
Steve said, "You see this Chinese spy balloon I modeled on things? It's epic and useful." I did not see that. Yeah, I haven't really been on Twitter or anything lately. Work has been hectic, but for good reasons hectic. I shared with you guys a couple weeks ago that there was a change in management, and so it's put more work on us now, but it's better that way. I'm back in control of my own baby.
It's more gooder.
It's more gooder. Oh, and then yesterday,
all my troubles seem so far away.
So yesterday was the day that I really didn't feel like coming out to the garage, but I decided I was going to anyway. And I came out, and I decided right in this room, right outside the studio here, is a little, I call it the utility room. There's supposed to be a deep sink there for scrubbing up my dirty hands. And it's also where my water fountain is supposed to go. But being I never really had access to this space, I never put the water fountain in here. I mounted it out in the garage. So, but there's a cabinet right in that room. And Manager Glenn in the future, no, I don't want that. I like exactly where I am. I don't want more responsibility. But there's a cabinet.
I'd like less, but for more pay.
Yeah, I just want more vacation time. But I bought a countertop from IKEA through their as-is room probably 5 or 6 years ago, and stored it away, and I never cut it to fit that cabinet. And so I decided that's where I was going to stage all of the camera battery chargers and just all of the filming stuff and all the chargers for little things like that, microphone chargers and whatever. So I got that countertop out. Now that countertop was 8 feet in length, a standard countertop, but it's full thickness. It's not like when you go to Home Depot and buy them, they're only 3/4 of an inch thick, and then it's got a lip on the end. This is actually 1.5 inches, the whole thing. So it weighs probably 150 pounds. So I manhandle it, which I just don't have the strength that I used to have, thanks COVID. And I got it out to the main part of the garage so I could cut it down. I only needed 3 feet of it. And I laid it on 2 moving dollies down on the floor. And I marked where I was going to cut it, and I cut it and zipped off the 3-foot piece. And I picked that up. So now I'm guesstimating that that's probably 60, 70 pounds. So I pick it up and I stumble and I stomp down on the moving dolly, which flies up and punches me in the back of the calf.
As you
which
deserve.
causes me to have dead leg. And I almost fall with this heavy piece of countertop, and I don't want to drop the countertop because I don't want to ding it. So, like, I kind of catch it. I wrench my right shoulder, which is bad anyway. This is the shoulder that's frozen. Like, that's all the higher up I can put it. And like I could just feel all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. So I was a little sore last night. I only ended up with like one little injury mark here, but I sure felt it. But it's nice to have that countertop there. Now I have a place to store the cameras and stuff that it's in climate control. It's away from the dust. It's not all over my bench. Because if you guys don't know, I'm a little messy. Like, just a little messy. So my bench is always like just completely a mess. But so
You know how hard it is for me not to just show off that project, by the way?
Oh, I can imagine, as long as you've been working on it.
I keep wanting to share it, but
people don't like spoilers.
Yeah, and it's going to be next week. The video will be out. Although I've decided to completely reshoot it as of today, because the original video and the audience that I'm targeting at weren't going to jive. Like the talking head part of it, without all the other stuff mixed in, was 19 and a half minutes.
Okay.
And so after talking with Kay, I'm going to aim for like an 8-minute video that spends less time talking about the design work and stuff that went into it, and more time talking about all the features and stuff, sort of treating it more like a retail product and then showing what it can do. And then I'll do a second video later on using that original content, and I'll do a build on it. But
that makes sense. That is one nice thing about the automotive side of YouTube is long videos are sought after.
Well, yeah, and this particular, like, certainly with the retro computer content and most computer content in general, that's okay. But because this is a mix-up of all sorts of different technologies to make it happen, I think I'm better off trying to make sure I don't bore the audience.
And you could actually turn it into like multiple shorter videos.
Yeah, and I'm also going to do a like a YouTube Shorts video for it that has like just a brief summary of stuff and won't show it doing anything. But James, I saw your new movie Avatar 2. It was like Avatar 1 but underwater. That is correct. And the next one's going to be like Avatar 1 and 2 but under fire.
It's going to be in the air.
It's going to be no, the next one's fire. So it's going to be like Avatar 1 and 2 but on fire.
The next one, I can't. Sorry, I got a little whoop. I went to find that balloon on things, but apparently I don't know how to use things.
It's your things. Hey, click what you want to click. I can tell you. That design.
I know how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna click on.
Clicking on your thing.
Like I searched that number and it doesn't come up.
It's probably just things.com with that number added to the URL.
No, I tried that. It didn't work either. Oh, Chris Lane has joined us. Sholm is here. Hi, Sholm. Long time.
Sholm at home. See what I did there?
I know that Sholm has popped into Xander's streams. So I don't know if you've heard, and I don't know if we can really talk about this without it going off the rails.
Feels like it's off the rails already there, pal.
There's a boycott
on against Harry Potter?
The Harry Potter game, right. So Xander was telling me that they actually came up with there's like somebody released a website that you can go to and check to see if your favorite streamer has streamed the content, so that you can cancel them.
Yeah,
so that you can boycott against them. And so Xander's telling me this, and I said, so when are you streaming it? Because he's always trying to get a rise out of people.
You don't say.
Yeah. But it's fun.
Your kid's a troublemaker. Who'd have thought?
Yes, he is. He's very much. Oh, he got a haircut.
Which one?
All of them.
Oh, jeez. That's
He,
quite the commitment.
The character Sawyer from Lost.
Yeah, I never actually watched Lost.
Yeah, he went for that. He went for that look.
I was more Found than Lost, you know?
Good show. I can't believe you never watched it.
I'll probably get around to it at some point, unless I die.
Okay. I cheated and punched in thanks.com and Chris Lane posted the link, but I just Googled thanks.com and the number and it gave it to me. That is brilliant. Chinese spy balloon before it was destroyed.
Oh, okay. Let's get to powering this. See if I can just.
Oh, that's brilliant, Stephen.
Steven's the real Doctor Strange. Get it? It's not much of a joke, so there's not much to get.
I see what you did there.
I am tired, but I continue to design additional accessories for this video.
I am tired as well, and these nighttime streams really mess with me.
Is that why we're quitting?
You weren't supposed to tell everybody. Sorry,
Whoops.
folks. Last stream. No.
Sorry, not sorry.
What's that?
Sorry, not sorry.
That stream title that I sent you in chat today. There was no way I could use that. It was good, but there was no way I could use it. It was not family friendly.
I have one that's still in the same genre, but I think is more family friendly. Like I think you could get away with it.
Yeah, let's not.
I'm gonna send it to you on Twitter, and you can decide if you want to repeat it.
Okay. For those of you who are curious what we're talking about, just note that this is Project Talk episode 69.
And I guess my mouse stopped working.
Well, of course it did.
That's gonna be unfortunate. I need it for tomorrow. Well, shoot.
Have you got a 3D model of Hunter Biden's laptop? Oh, you guys are too much. So I was talking with my wife after the stream last week, and I don't know, we got on the topic of, maybe it was one day at lunch. I don't remember. Doesn't matter. I could tell you guys whatever. You weren't there. You won't know what the truth is. So we were driving around in the Ferrari and going to the country club. But we started talking about how, like, on this stream, I know what brought us to the conversation, because you and I have political discussions offline that we're both on the opposite ends of the spectrum. We have a fantastic conversation, and there's no hiccups from it. And I said, they always tell you, never talk politics, never talk religion, never talk sports, because some people get really heated about sports too. And I said, I have a feeling that I could express my political views on stream, and I don't think I would lose, but maybe one of you guys out there. I think we're kind of all on the same boat, which is exactly the opposite of the spectrum of what James is at. So, I'm kidding, of course. We're not talking politics.
You just did it.
Uncle Ron is absolutely correct. You did not vote for Biden.
It's true. It's true. I didn't.
Can we talk about Canadian politics?
I'd rather not.
Okay. You know where I was going to go, didn't you?
I don't need to know much.
I don't know much. Yeah. Sean said just don't do it drunk, especially with Jerry. Too soon? Yes, too soon. Let's not bring that up. That sent a ripple through the community. Oh, I know what else I was going to share with you guys. I got this week. Let's see if it'll come in. See that? So you people that have hair don't know how lucky you are, because when you're bald, you bang your head all the time. So I was working on the bench and I was underneath putting in screws, and I went to come up and I caught the corner of it and just took a chunk of skin. In fact, the skin was still hanging off of the board that I hit my head on. So that was a fun one. Not as good as the mud flap on the truck, though.
I just sent you the after I got my mouse working. I just sent you the title in the in the Twitters.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Right, like that one's not that bad. That one's a bit of a thinker.
But when you put 2 and 2 together and you realize what it's talking about,
Well, you would have to put 2 and 2 together for this.
All right, that's enough of that.
Now something everyone can enjoy.
Tony said no stitches. No, it didn't split it open. It just peeled a chunk of the skin out of there. I did have to have 5 stitches in my head as a kid, though. But I actually had hair back then. Glenn Hug said, I bought a pair of struts for my minivan from Amazon. One of them shipped from Atlanta and was here the next day. The other shipped from Sacramento and got lost. Yeah, shipping is getting tougher and tougher and tougher. I mean, I buy a lot of stuff from Amazon. I'm a Prime customer. And I mean, if it's not fulfilled by Amazon and delivered by Amazon, I have no hope for it ever getting here. So, like my first cup that I ordered. Got to get back to work. Saw you on and had to say hi. Well, it was nice of you to pop in. Thank you very much, Tom.
Always appreciated. Often imitated, usually duplicated.
On our new nights of Thursday at 7 p.m., 7 to 9. I am going to go back to scheduling. I'm going to start scheduling the streams on Sunday mornings again because I'm in that rhythm. And I don't
Not for Sunday morning. Make that clear. Just
yeah, for Thursday, but on Sunday. Because I always scheduled them on Sunday for Sunday. I'm going to schedule them on Sunday for Thursday. Because James reminded me today, he was like, hey, are we streaming tonight? And I got hit with work the minute I got to my computer this morning. So,
hey, look, I'm doing what you do. I'm soldering on stream.
Soldering?
I can't bring in the other camera, though, because there's literally too much risk at this point that I would show off the other thing by accident.
Yeah, no, that's all right. But yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good. So I really wanted to have another big bucket of bolts in here to work on today. So one of the other things that I was conversing with the group, there's a nut and bolt gauge, like thread gauge, and it's like $90 for the set. And I said I think that it's something that we could design and 3D print. And I've put a lot of thought and consideration into it this week, and I really think I'm just gonna spend the $90.
My, what a disappointment you've become. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I went to Rural King this week to get some hardware for the bench, and they have some on the shelf for use. I mean, you can buy them, but a bunch of them were missing the nuts out of them and stuff. I suppose people steal the hardware out of them because it's the size they need. But like just looking at, I don't think I can build it.
If you build it, it will come.
I know I can build it, but I don't think I'm going to be able to build it the way that I want to build it unless I print it on the FK1, and that just kind of
Yeah, the FK1 really can't print, so.
No, not in its current situation. $75 freaking dollars for enough wire to wire that thing up. So I decided that one of these days,
It's not like the other.
in the very near future, I'm going to plug that thing in out here and fire it up and see if it blows the breaker. Like when we're not streaming.
It'd be funner if you did it while you're streaming. Like, can you imagine plugging something in and having it blow the breaker and cut the stream?
Well, it would be even better if somebody was in the stream that knew more than you and was like, show me the wiring before you plug that in. And I was like,
No, it's
nah,
fine.
I got this. It's fine. For all of you who don't know that story, there was a youngin named Ryan. I don't know what his channel is now. It used to be Technology Nerd 18.
Now it's Adaptive Tech.
Adaptive Tech, yeah.
Well, it might have changed again, but the last time I saw it, the last video I saw was him getting a car.
Yeah, that was the last video he's made. Xander checks in on him once in a while, but he was building an ANET A8 on live stream, and I was watching the stream, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna plug it in for the first time, and I'm like, dude, show me the wiring first. Let me see the wiring. And he's like, no, it's fine, and I'm like, no, you need to show me the wiring before you plug that thing in, so I can be sure it's right. I'm trying to help the kid out, He was what, like 14 or 15 at the time, and
might have even been younger than that.
Yeah, he might have been. And he's like, no, it's fine. And when he plugged it in,
the stream just ended.
Boop, he just went offline. Well, what had happened was he didn't have the wiring right, and it blew the breaker. And the breaker that he was plugged into was also the same one that the Wi-Fi router was on. And then his mom's boyfriend got really mad because the breaker popped and wouldn't let him go back on YouTube. So we're all sitting there and freaking out, thinking maybe he died because he didn't come back. And then it was like 2 days later, he was like, hey guys, Redstone here. Sorry about my last stream.
I accidentally destroyed the universe.
But he would do these ask me anythings
almost daily.
Like every day. Yeah, like somebody was gonna have a new question. And it was always him laying in his bed from this person.
Yep.
He's like, hey guys, Redstone here. In the beginning, I guess I should tell the whole backstory. In the beginning, I tried to support this kid as much as I possibly could.
Because he was a young kid who had a dream.
I found him through Joel because he had reached out to Joel, telling, if you don't know, and was like, hey, I'm trying to grow my channel, can you give me a shout out? Like just immediately asking for stuff. And so Joel was like, hey, everybody, go check out this young man's YouTube channel, whatever. Well, he's absolutely a train wreck. I mean, I don't know if he is anymore, but he used to be a train wreck. And so is Ryan. No, I'm just kidding. See what I did there? That Joel guy.
Joel guy.
So like we tried to support him as much as possible as well. Young kid getting into 3D printing, whatever. Well, in the end, he turns out he's a spoiled rich kid. Apparently his mom just throws money at him instead of raising him. Okay, that's not really fair, but that's how it appears. So like he took us on a tour of his house one time, and he took us into the home gym, and there was like 10 3D printers just sitting around in there because he just kept buying all these 3D printers on his mom's credit card.
Which it turns out she didn't know.
Yeah, apparently she wasn't aware of that happening, right? But then he decides to release a video about GearBest. Y'all remember GearBest, don't you?
Did they ever come back?
I have no idea. But all of a sudden, not only is he talking about GearBest, he starts calling out different YouTubers how they are sellouts to GearBest.
Yep.
And when I say they, I was one of those. And I had really tried to help this kid out through his YouTube career, and that was it for me. I completely bailed on him at that point. I was no longer doing anything for him. So, and then he pulled the video and he released an apology, and I said, "Sorry, dude,
you missed
too late, man."
You missed potentially the best part, though.
Oh, what was that?
Remember in the video he said, "And if you think that these printers are, if you think this is like the right way to support people, you're a fan of these Chinese printers, you can just unsubscribe from me right now. I don't need you as a subscriber." And then Joel Telling went on his channel and said, "Hey, I've tried to help you. I'm sorry that that's the way you feel, but I'm respecting your wishes and I'm unsubscribing." And then Ryan was like, "No, wait, Joel, please don't. I'm your biggest fan." And
yep. Don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Or it might delete you. There's somebody else that had a similar situation. His drama started too because he started doing "Are you ready? Set, go" instead of "Are you ready? Go," like Joel used to.
Okay.
So people are like, "You're just stealing Joel's intro," and he's like, "No, I talked to Joel, and Joel said it's fine, and it's not the same thing because I say set, go." And I was like, I think his channel's maybe continued to grow though, and his stuff's gotten better. So I'm not trying to poop talk him.
And this is actually a conversation that Xander and I have had on multiple occasions, because
you guys have had multiple conversations.
Yeah, pretty much every day. It usually goes along with, "Dude, do your chores. Get off the computer. Do your chores."
And then you end up doing his chores.
No, that doesn't happen. That's a foot in the butt for that. That's a red Foreman from.
We're supposed to talk about that 90 show today.
Oh yeah, it's on my list right here.
That was the.
We were supposed to talk about it last week, but you couldn't be here.
I mean, I could have. I just chose.
I have to mute and blow my nose. Sorry.
You got a mutant blow your nose? Is that like the Cyclops version? Shoot red lasers out your nose?
Yeah, I just didn't want anybody to hear that. Where was I going? Oh, the conversations with. Oh, because like the experts, and I mean, some of them are experts. I mean, like I get my advice from a lot of people out there that they know what they're doing.
People out there know what they're doing.
I need to fix that cough. I can't shed it. It got worse after the COVID, but I have a doctor's appointment next week. We'll see what they say about it. But anyway, one of the things that they always tell you is find someone who is doing what you're trying to do that's successful and copy them. But people take it too literally.
Yep.
Like they don't do what the successful person's doing. They literally do exactly what the successful person is doing. You know, like.
Yep.
So, and that's where it's probably one of my biggest pet peeve with reels on Instagram, because somebody will do something that's funny or whatever, and then 3,000 people remake it to try to make it their own.
So, commenting on that, so you and I have discussed in the past that Kay, although so she's off TikTok now. We had a discussion; she's not using it anymore.
That's a good thing.
Like I said, I'm limiting my TikTok to what amounts to a burner phone.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm not even sure why you bother, but
literally just for channel growth.
oh,
It's just
speaking of
gonna
people who know, speaking of people who know how to do things on YouTube,
be.
John, you do it has joined us. Hi, John.
So Kay likes watching. She's got like she had TikTokers like cooking TikTokers and stuff like that. And there's a one TikToker that one of her thing was like like measure with your heart. So like measure with your for the chocolate chips, measure with your heart. And then all of a sudden, everybody was saying that. Are you laughing at Who's Your Daddy?
No, I'm measuring. I'm thinking about how many chocolate chips I'd pour in.
Do we have another bag of these? You just opened that one. I know.
One bag's not enough for my heart.
I'm gonna ruin a. I'm out of wires and I'm also out of time for this project, so I'm gonna go ahead and ruin a stepper motor cable. I'll leave enough of the connector that I can rewire it later if I need it. Let's face it, I'm past the point now where I'm gonna be just wiring my own or building my own printers from scratch. I've got my ones that do what I need.
Yeah. So John, I don't know like how long you were in here before you said something, but we were just talking about how the people who know how to grow a YouTube channel always tell people to find a channel that does what they want to do that's successful and copy them, and people take it entirely too literally. And then you popped in. That's why I said what I said. That's pretty funny.
I'm actually working on a channel. It's called Mr. Beast 7000.
Oh, I was
And
working on Mr. Yeast.
I'm changing my name from James to Jimmy.
Oh, Sean has joined us as well. Hello, Sean. Long time no hear from.
Oh,
He's
the two of it.
He's a Tampa dweller now. He doesn't talk to us people who live in the sticks.
Those two wandering in together, that's suspicious.
That is sus.
Mega sus. I need to get a proper set of wire strippers because the number of times I've inadvertently shortened wires because I'm trying to strip them with a pair of
yeah,
flush
that's
cutters.
something that they taught us in school when I was in tech school. Like if we were caught stripping wires and not using proper wire strippers, they would fail us.
Liar.
I don't know if that would actually happen, but that's what they told us.
I have cheap ones from the dollar store, and the flush cutters work better.
Yeah. Well, their idea behind it was like if you worked in aerospace, you know, something that was mission critical, you could nick a wire.
Well, the thing is, when you do this, every time you do this, especially with stranded wire, you risk pulling out some strands. So the actual density of the wire at the end is going to be less than. So you're increasing the amount of resistance.
And in a mission critical situation, those wires are spec'd to be the size they are based on the lightest of weight and, you know, the current carrying.
So ironically enough, getting the FK1 working by 2050 is ultimately what kills Glenn.
Glenn texted me, I lost all my numbers because my phone was stolen. I had to go through a whole thing. Well, I'm still on Twitter, man. You could have reached out to me on the Twitters. Of course, I'm not really on Twitters very
You're
often,
all a bunch of twits.
but I will do that. I will send you a text message.
I'm sorry, I'm from the future. You text him, he doesn't text back.
So James, does Glenn have the FK1 working in 2050?
That is what I said.
Oh.
I got to it before you said it though because I'm from the future. Kay's been watching this guy and he does a thing called I'm rich or you're Pavo, I'm rich or something like that. And it's just him reacting to people's videos where they're showing off like their fancy bookcases and stuff. And it's like, oh, look, I've got 3 rooms full of books. You don't even have one book because you can't read because you're poor.
Oh, there's a guy on Instagram. I'm sure he's on Twitter and stuff too. But and you've probably seen him, but he always wears a cowboy hat. He's got a big beard and stuff, and he reacts to different videos. And like the main thing he does is like the video will play, and he goes, "What?" and I don't know, like, or if it's got a dog in it, he goes, "What the dog doing?"
I do believe I've seen this guy.
He just cracks me up. And then Anna Kendrick, Anna Kendrick released a video with him in it, and he goes, "I didn't know Anna Kendrick had a a TikTok. What's the Pitch Perfect 3 sucked, and she goes, "What?"
They did a TV show based on Pitch Perfect now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it brings back one character that nobody cared about, and that's it. It's one of the guys.
No, well, that guy cracks me up. And then Xander sent me a reel the other day.
The other day.
I can't, because now we've gone through a whole bunch of them, so I can't remember what it was. But it was like, it was a guy driving in a car, and there was a semi truck carrying one of those big concrete precast beams, and the guy like drove underneath it, and all of a sudden it plays that song, "The Dumb Way to Die." And there's like a gazillion of those out there.
I think I saw that Fast and the Furious too.
Totally rigged. A car will not fit under a semi trailer. They had to lift that trailer. And if you watch the movie close enough, you'll see the additional lift in the semi trailer. But I mean, what can you expect from a Mitsubishi Eclipse that has 7 gears? Dude shifted it 7 times.
So you missed the back shift for a bit.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
He was granny shifting, I think they called it.
What was really a punch in the face is, at that time, that's what I was driving. I was driving a 97 Mitsubishi Eclipse.
And it eclipsed your entire life.
And then the other thing that screamed in that movie was, like, when he opens the hood, it was the non-turbo car. It wasn't even a turbo car, and it's supposed to be so fast.
Any racer will tell you it's not the car, it's the driver.
Yeah. So I had a bunch of problems with that movie. We had actually, my car club, which was all Talons and Eclipses, we went to see that movie together.
My brain went, my car club, which was all Italians with Eclipses, and I was like, that's that was an oddly specific car club you were a part of.
Yes, we were all Italian, except for I'm not Italian. No, we all went to see that movie together. There was like 30 of us. And
did you at least enjoy it?
I did. I mean, I do give movie creators grace. What do they call that? Artistic freedom.
Artistic license.
Yeah, there you go.
You should get that because it's a car movie. Get it? License.
But no. So when we were on our way to the movie theater, and there's like a whole bunch of us, we pull up to a light, and right in front of me, there's a Honda Civic, and it's all Mitsubishi Eclipses around it. And I snapped a picture, and then I photoshopped in "bad day to be a Honda?" ? And that thing was all over the internet for the longest time. That's probably my biggest internet claim to fame, was that photo.
Glenn and his 3 friends thought it was no, I'm just kidding.
Well, I think I'm the only member of that club still around.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I mean, everybody's alive. Like, I'm not saying everybody else died, but
I'm not even kidding. I thought that's literally how I took it. I'm not even trying to be funny.
Well, we weren't very good drivers. No, I was.
I've noticed that. I'm just kidding.
I worked my way up to being, not only a member, but I was also the president.
Unfortunately, you're the only person left in the club at that time.
Well, it was because I had the IT background, so I set up the website with the forum and stuff, because that was back when we had forums and not everything was on Trash Book. But and then as the club died out, these cars are old. I still have my 92 Talon, but as the cars were dying off and people were moving on to other stuff, the club just kind of went away. And yeah,
that's because you guys forgot that it's about family.
That's right. Well, I mean, I'm still in touch with a lot of them, but Chris Lane said it definitely wasn't Rogaine Glenn was the president of. That stuff doesn't work.
You'd know.
Uncle Ron said I programmed the voting software. You guys are so harsh. Dumb way to die.
I like the ones where it's like it's at this moment they realize that they bleeped up.
Yeah, there's some good stuff, but like so much of it, like running, doom scrolling in the reels. So much of it's just garbage. It's just garbage. So, oh, yeah, my sinuses are all just like full.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's definitely snot. And I'm exhausted. I'm so glad tomorrow is Friday. But so with the management changes at work, which I was given his laptop with no passwords, and got to crack into that this week. That was fun.
Was it password 123? Is that the only reason you were able to get in?
It was just password.
Oh, okay. Story checks out.
But I will not make that mistake again. Like I control every device in our organization as far as like master passwords and stuff. But his I didn't because of the position he was in. I gave him the privacy of even me not having access, and
He assumed that position, is what you're saying? He assumed the position?
yeah, that mistake will never happen again. But so when we would do a project, I don't know how much of this I can say. I guess it doesn't really matter. We're working on a project right now that's about $15 million.
That's a lot of potato chips.
Yeah,
That's a lot of all dressed potato chips.
It's those are the best.
We can all agree on that.
And half the people out there don't know what we're talking about. Duff said just had to hit enter. That would have been funny. Actually, it was a biometric, so I hacked his finger off and used his cold dead finger to no.
It's also my favorite soldering iron, by the way, John. It's the first like non-crappy, the ones you plug just straight into the wall. They're like $15.
Oh yeah, well, that's I got my little weller. But yeah, so proposal process on an average building, say it's $100,000 project.
Okay, it's $100,000 project.
The proposal process would take anywhere from 4 to 8 hours of being on the phone and going over everything line by line by line and checking and double checking the math that the computer has been doing for me for 8 years. That's how much of a control freak he was.
Did he ever catch anything doing that?
Nope. He would run his own math to double check what the computer had spewed out, and it was always, like right there. And then of course he'd be like, well, let's use my number. And I'm like, but your number's not right. Like, you used estimated values. I used actual values, but that's neither here nor there. But so this week, yesterday, we did a review on 4 buildings, a $15 million project in less than 1 hour, because that's how the company owner rolls. The company owner trusts that we know what we're doing.
That fool.
Well, I guess we'll find out, because chances are that job will be sold this week. So here's the fun part. And Duff said, I remember when people thought the Windows Workgroup login was password protection back in the day. Yeah, and you just hit escape.
Yeah, and there's no file encryption or anything. You just go in and browse. My favorite part is like when you're on somebody's computer and you go like into the users folder and you double click on their link. It's like, hey, you don't own this folder. Would you like to own it? You're like, yep, okay. I'm simplifying what it says.
Yeah, you need administrative rights for this. Continue, and you're like,
yeah, sure.
And then it just,
yep,
it just gives it. It just gives it to you. John said, "Wait, it wasn't a password. Not on 3.1. It wasn't."
Or 95 or 98.
True.
Yep.
But no. So here's the fun part about this project. If we land this project, which is a really, really, really good chance that we will land this project,
You're moving to Canada and hanging out with me.
I'm technically running myself out of a job. This is a 2-year project. I will not have to do any estimating for about a year. So with the amount of work that we already have on the books, and then this, that's it. That's all we need for the next year. And then a year from now, we'd have to start bidding out more, because it takes a long. Some of these jobs will take a year before they actually take off. So, but the good news is I'm not actually losing my job. I just get to do more fun stuff, like more IT stuff, and
Well, they do say you are the king of fun, so I guess I have to defer to your judgment.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just, I get to work on the IT stuff in the back end, functions and all of that. So I have Twitter up on this monitor over here, and in the trending box is Mark Meadows, Bed Bath & Beyond, Chuck Grassley, 2023 NFL honors, and peeing. There's 5,303 tweets about peeing.
I mean, everybody does it.
Why are you tweeting about it?
When you don't know, then you go.
So it's been so long now. I don't really remember that 90s show. I got to stop calling it that. It just got that 90s show.
It did get renewed for a second season.
I did hear that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's.
But I will tell you. Okay, so spoiler alert: if you have not watched that 90s show, spoiler alert right now. There is one major problem that I have with the show. Got any guesses what that major problem is?
You're gonna have to give me a hint.
Well, first of all, what's the age of the kids?
Oh, well, we discussed that already.
Nope. I know what we discussed, and that's fine, because Donna would have had to been pregnant at the end of the show, at the end of the 70s show. Blah blah blah. All right. So again, artistic license. I'll let that go.
Yep.
My problem is we have 14 and 15-year-olds, and they're what's the word I'm looking for? They're
promiscuous.
No, well, yes, but they're making drug and alcohol use attractive. What's the word that I'm looking for? Not that they're promoting it, but they're making it. See what happens when you get
acceptable.
Well, like they're making it like attractive to the kids. Like, hey, if you're 14, you should also be out there smoking pot and drinking beer. I mean, these kids end up with a keg at 14 years old. I guess some of them. Enticing. That's a good word, Uncle Ron. Enticing is a good one. Alluring, tempting. I'm horsing it now. But yeah, like there's a specific word that I'm looking for. I'll find it.
Targeting. They're targeting children.
So, sensationalizing, I think, is what I was looking for. So, all right. So I've walked the straight and narrow my whole life. I don't drink. I've never done drugs. The closest I've ever done to doing drugs was when I was 10, I got high off a model paint because I was building a model in an enclosed area. I didn't like it. And I said I would never, ever do drugs because of the way that that made me feel. I don't like anything having glamorizing. That's a great one, Tony Ryan. Like, I don't like anything having control over me but me. So I said I'd never do drugs. I did have a couple issues in life when I was using Pour 15, which is a paint over rust paint, painting my car trailer frame. Yeah, that got me. That was a pretty good one. And a couple times doing plumbing, the glue being up under the sink or whatever. But I don't like it, so I've never done it. Now, I'm not saying nobody should do it. You're you. You get to run your own life. Don't drink and drive. Don't do drugs. Get behind the wheel. Don't put yourself in a situation where you can take somebody else's life, or even your own. But I have a problem when they're taking teenagers and glamorizing or promoting or enticing or all of these wonderful words, sensationalizing drug use and drinking. Yeah, so that's my biggest problem with the show. Otherwise, I think the show is great. Now,
Are you gonna watch season 2?
Mm-hmm. As far as them being promiscuous, I can remember when I was a teenager. I don't think they're that promiscuous.
No, I was and like I didn't have much of a problem with that addressing that topic because it's also important that they don't try to pretend that stuff doesn't exist. But I thought that you're a bit of a prude and.
Tony Ryan said, doesn't like anything having control of me but me. And yet he got married. Nope, my wife is awesome. My wife does not control me. We are a very equal relationship.
You check your phone yet? And she agrees.
She said, I'm not allowed to say that anymore.
I might have just ruined this LED strip, but it wasn't going to fit either way.
So, but yeah, that's my one big like negative hang up on the show. In the beginning, it was very hard to get into the show. Like the first 2 episodes, I wasn't sure if I was going to make it through the season.
It did feel like they were trying to find their footing, and then I found by the end of it, it was like, well, I could have used a longer season actually.
Yeah. I mean, in the end, it was good, and like, so the other issue that I had watching it was like, and I couldn't quite put my finger on it at first, but the way it was filmed didn't feel right. Like the cinematography was a little bit weird. And then I seen somebody had made the comment that it was absolutely filmed like a Disney show. And I thought, yeah, that's, like Hannah Montana or one of those other ones that's on Disney.
Hannah Montana.
And so like, yes. And so people were saying like, the show is definitely filmed to appeal to children. Okay. And now we're sensationalizing drug use, and alcohol abuse at 15. So, and then, okay. So here we go down the rabbit hole. Tell me how those kids were not sloshed drunk the first time that they drank all that beer. I'm sorry. I remember being that age. I remember being around people who drank at that age.
Isn't the joke supposed to be that they didn't even come close to finish? Like they didn't drink all that much because like they bring the keg back.
Oh yeah,
later on,
and they still had skunky beer in there after like weeks, but. But anyway, Bob Carnes says, join us. Hello, Bob. But no, overall, I think it was a good show. I mean, it's fine. I have my issues with Netflix because they're going to cut my mom off of being able to watch.
They sure are.
My mom shares my account.
Well, I mean, you're obviously a terrible person, and you deserve to, deserve whatever comes for you.
Well, all right. So I've been with Netflix since it was $3.99, and they mailed you CDs in the mail. That's how long I've been with Netflix. because of working at Best Buy. When all of that hit, like we got special promotions and stuff to sign up so that we could sell it to our customers because we had experience with it. And then I remember when they went to streaming, I went from getting 2 discs in the mail to getting just 1 disc in the mail and being able to stream for the same cost.
Yep.
Duff said, "What is physical media exactly?" What's Adam? What's a CD? Well, I guess technically it's a DVD, but yeah.
Oof.
I actually have Voodoo. I still have credit. I don't even know if Voodoo is still around, but I still have credits available on Voodoo.
I don't even know what Voodoo is.
VUDU.
That Voodoo that you do?
It was another streaming service. It was actually owned by Best Buy.
Worst Buy.
Yeah, Uncle Ron said, "Mine shares mine, and I don't think we watch 8 hours a month combined. Not worth paying for 2 accounts." No, and that's just it. I mean, Grisilla watches a lot of the Netflix. I watch very little Netflix.
The Netflix.
The Netflix. Well, we have Netflix. We have Disney Plus. We have, what's the one I get free through Peacock, because Comcast is owned by NBC.
And I'm assuming you have Amazon Prime, like the.
I have Amazon Prime,
Prime
but we
Video.
actually don't use it for that. I mean, I know that I've made mention other times that like my TV comes from other places, and I like it that way. So you can get beautiful high definition TV over the air, by the way. You just put an antenna outside your house and you can watch some TV. So, in fact, when we had when we were living in the RV building the house, it had the crank up antenna on the roof. And if we were watching regular broadcast TV, I would actually watch it through the antenna because the picture was better than coming through cable.
I've heard that.
So that was fun. God, that was a million years ago. So that's it. You got nothing else to say about the 90s show? That's 90s show?
I mean, I also enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, I guess I don't really have a ton to add.
Yeah, it would have been more fun to talk about when it was fresh. Because I'm sure I had a lot more to say about it back then, but
back in the day.
I noticed that you're wearing a sweatshirt. What's the temperature there?
We're right at freezing right now, actually.
Do you want to know what it is here?
No, and you can go hug yourself.
No. It was 85 degrees today.
Well, whoop-de-doo, Basil.
The humidity was nice. The humidity was only like 40%. So the garage stayed pretty cool, but tomorrow it already started raining tonight. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, and then over the weekend it's supposed to be 40. And again, that's the problem with Florida weather is it is literally a million degrees one day and freezing the next day. So
we got a half an hour left. I wonder if I can get some code running on this thing to make it do stuff.
That'd be fun.
I doubt it, though.
Adam said it was 70 Fahrenheit in East Tennessee today.
Well, in West Philadelphia.
Born and raised.
Did you ever watch Bel Air, the more serious, gritty version of Fresh Prince? I don't remember if we ever talked about it.
I didn't even know it existed.
It's Kay and I both really enjoyed it. It was renewed for a second season before it even premiered. So,
what network is that on?
It's Peacock.
Peacock. I actually don't. We have Peacock because we get it free through Comcast Xfinity.
To Xfinity and beyond.
But I don't think I've ever watched anything on there.
The Saved by the Bell reboot's on there too.
Tony Ryan said, "Is that freezing Celsius or freezing Fahrenheit?"
It's freezing Kelvin.
And it's just called Bel Air.
Bel Air, yeah.
I will give it a go.
Okay, and I enjoyed it. It is like it is a darker take on Fresh Prince, but it still sticks to like the same storyline, like the
Yeah.
same idea. And
Is it black people? Because I don't like watching shows with black people. Please don't anybody screen cap that. That was completely a joke.
you're
I'm a huge fan of Will Smith's, whether he slapped somebody or not. What was I was going to say something else before I just ruined myself by saying that.
yeah, you
That's it. I'm canceled. Oh, have you watched Yellowstone?
we watched the first episode. Kay, like I think we talked about it before. It was so long the first episode that Kay was like, I don't think I can do this series right now.
Well, and that's kind of how Priscilla was too. She only watched the first episode and actually fell asleep in like during it. But she said that she didn't like it because like everybody was mean. Like she said that there was just no character that she could get on board with. But I have watched it all the way up through the most recent episode, which they're on hiatus right now. And I actually enjoyed it. I could do without some of the gratuitous language and stuff, but they are cowboys. I'll give them that.
Some people call me a space cowboy.
Some people call me the gangster of love.
Some people call me Maurice.
Wow.
That wasn't bad.
Oh, that's it. We're getting demonetized. Then I started recently watching I think it's like 1923 or whatever with Harrison Ford, which is like the
prequel.
The prequel to it.
But the sequel to 1886.
Right. So
they're just making it confusing now for no good reason.
Well, I mean, they're cashing in on it, and apparently there's going to be a spin-off now for the is it the 4-6 ranch? I guess you wouldn't know because you didn't make it that far into the show, but like a ranch that's in Texas, they're gonna have a spin-off.
My dad was telling me that Kevin Costner wants out now.
Really?
Yeah, and they're talking about canceling it and starting a different series starring Matthew McConaughey. I said, why would they cancel it? I said, why would they cancel it? Matthew McConaughey and Kevin Costner are basically directly exchangeable.
Well, I mean, not only that, but just based on, again, you not seeing the show, so I won't give away too much, but it would be really easy to just kill him off. You know, like, that family has really bad luck.
It'd actually be super easy, barely an inconvenience. So...
Chris Lane said it got really confusing when you watch 1899 and then 1917 in between.
I saw him Funny Mug today. You and I, like, obviously I spend too much time watching and listening and reading about Star Trek. It's
unhealthy.
Yeah, it's unhealthy. That's hey, you know what? Like, that's what I was saying. I always forget. Have you watched Next Generation?
No.
Have you watched any of it?
No.
Okay. There's a main character that only lasts for like half of the first season. And she wanted out, so they killed her. They killed her character. They didn't even leave her a chance to come back.
Nice.
So she was the head of security, and her character name was Tasha Yar. So she gets killed, and then they replace her with Worf. I'm sure you at least know
spoiler alert, by the way.
Yeah, for anybody that didn't watch this back in the 80s and then the 90s and the 2000s and the 2010s, and now we're in the 2020s. So Worf becomes the replacement for Tasha Yar as the security chief, and Worf as a Klingon has a sword called a batleth, like it's this giant curved sword for like hand-to-hand combat. All this setting up. I saw a mug today, and it says, "My batleth kills all the threats to Picard," and they're like, "You're better than Yar. You're darned right. I'm better than Yar. I would teach her, but she drowned in tar."
Is that how they actually killed her off?
Not like she was killed by a creature that basically looked like he was made of tar. She didn't drown in it, but
Oh,
For the consistency of the rhyme, I will allow it.
well, that's pretty funny.
I would teach her, but she drowned in tar.
Yeah, these fun little rhymes that I've used the last couple of weeks on Twitter announcing the stream. The last two I think I've used. Those were written by Chat GPT.
I was playing with Chat GPT today.
It's fun. I asked it the other day to write me an email to a coworker about his bad body odor,
Oh, really?
and it did. And then I sent it to my coworker. He doesn't really have bad body odor. I just thought it was funny.
I keeping with Star Trek, I asked it to write me a script for a Star Trek: The Next Generation episode where everybody but Data is addicted to Rocky Road ice cream, and it did.
It is fun. It's a good time.
I asked it to write me a fully functional Space Invaders game in QBasic, and it said sure, and it started spitting out code. And the code it was spitting out, like I recognized what it was doing, and it got about 3/4 of the way through and then just stopped responding.
Oh, yeah. I guess somebody used it to write a fully functional plugin for a WordPress site, including the admin backend portion of it.
That's pretty fancy.
I thought that's amazing. And like the article that I read, like, you know, he had asked it to do this and it generated some code, and then he just kept getting more and more specific what he was asking for. And it kicked it out. Like it spit it out. That's it's scary. It's definitely scary. I said to it, please do a masonry takeoff on the XYZ project, and it said, I don't know what the heck you're talking about. And I thought, whew, my job's safe. The ones that I work from home, a coworker would have to smell really bad for me to smell them from my desk. Yeah, but I do have to occasionally go into the office.
I did see the I've got 99 problems, but Breach ain't one yet. There's also a parody of what's that Frozen song?
Let it go.
Yeah. So it's Captain Picard singing it, and there's a part that goes, Geordie screwed the pooch. It's a warp core breach.
Yeah,
because let it snow, make it so, right? Which is what Picard's known for saying.
Right.
Make it so, make it
yeah,
so.
I wish that somebody would release an AI to create thumbnails. Like if you could feed it your video and have it generate a thumbnail based on your video, that'd be great, because I hate making thumbnails. And also to write jingles. Like if you ask it to write you a jingle, it'll write you a jingle, but there's no music, so you don't really know what the beat is. And I'm not a music composer. Sean asks, what are my thoughts on Land Rovers? I found one for a good price, but wanted to hear your thoughts on it. Are you sure you want to hear thoughts on it? Also, the Explorer is no more. I got hit by a drunk driver. Man,
it got hit. I believe it got hit by a golf cart that did enough damage to write it off. I'm not kidding. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Maybe
I thought the wind had shifted by 2 degrees, and it was that truck was pretty rusty.
It just crumbled.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Sean. I hope that all occupants of the vehicle were okay. As far as Land Rovers go, it's a tough one because a lot of them are powered by Jaguar engines, and those engines have a pretty well known issues with the timing chain. There's I want to say it's the tensioner. It might just be the guide, but there's an issue with the timing chain on a lot of them, and it takes $3,000 worth of specialty tools to tear into that engine to replace that. So they're expensive to own, most definitely. If you check out, there's a reason why people sell them a year before the warranty is up. Absolutely. If you check out a channel called Waldo's World,
where's Waldo?
He's in New Hampshire. He actually bought a used one. I want to say he bought it through a auction, but his actually had that same problem. He was fortunate enough that one of his subscribers had the tools to do the job and loaned them to him, so he didn't have to buy $3,000 worth of tools. But Yeah, that's a tough one. They're nice. They're super nice. I mean, the whole air ride suspension and stuff is real sweet, but oh yeah, they're I found one certified pre-owned in 2000. Well, it's certified that it's pre-owned, or it's certified that it's okay at the moment. 2011. It's pretty old for a Land Rover. Yeah. Chris Lane said, "I'm a Land Cruiser fan." Now, Land Cruiser is Toyota. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the Land Cruisers are Toyota. Land Rover, they've been kicked around. I think Land Rover's owned by Ford, but it's built out of the Jaguar plant. Yeah, my wife always wanted a Jaguar, and I almost bought her one years ago, back when I was infinitely wealthy. And then I realized the errors in my ways, and I said no, and I bought her a Nissan instead. And that car held up great until she backed into my truck with it and smashed up the rear end.
Well, that'll teach you to exist.
Oh my gosh. 15 minutes. She backed into that thing and she sat there for 15 minutes until she could gain her composure to let me know that she backed into my truck. And I fixed my own truck, and she still did over $500 worth of damage to it. So I said, "What, did you back out of the garage at like 45? I don't understand how you did this much damage." So Breaker 3D Justin says, "Hello there. Who's excited for Roomwolf?" I think it's amazing that they're having another Murph that's further out to the west. I think that is a great thing for people that live more towards that side of the country. Unfortunately, not for me. It's too far away.
I don't think I'll get to anything computer or 3D printing related this year.
You totally suck.
I know. I hate
myself. I have to at least make one or the other. Which will probably
we'll see what happens.
Last one ever. Because I really need to start changing my focus over to automotive.
I mean, the fact that you have a focus and you consider yourself an automotive channel.
I definitely consider myself an automotive channel.
No, did you get the joke though?
Yeah, I know. Oh, a focus.
Yeah.
Ba-dum-bum. My brother's got ADD, and the funny part is he drives a Focus. I want to say that was a Zach Galifianakis joke. I will not take credit for that. Sean said the Land Rover has 144,000 miles on it. Nope. I wouldn't do it. That's scary territory. I am curious to know which motor is in it though. Because I want to say that they had, and again, I could be wrong. I don't know everything about every car, even though my brain is full of useless information. I want to say that you could get some with a BMW engine in them, but again, it's the unwanted stepchild. It's that, yeah, we own that brand and we're gonna keep making them, but we're just gonna. I mean, it's the modern day DeLorean. I guess I can't say that anymore because now there is a modern day DeLorean. But I mean,
which
DeLorean,
is an electric car, which actually kind of makes sense if we're being honest.
Yeah, well, the DeLorean, like the original DeLorean, was like a mismatch of parts. Like that thing was a nightmare to work on. So the saying goes, if you want to go into the jungle, get a Land Rover. If you want to get back from the jungle, get a Land Cruiser. Oh, that needs to go on a t-shirt. That's pretty fun. Well, and also cars here in Florida, it's hard to find anything decent that's not $1 million. Like people in Florida think that everything that they own. I'm looking for a go-kart. I want to buy a go-kart that's big enough for me to ride in, but also Zach could drive it. Get rid of the two little ones that we have and get something with some suspension in it, because those little ones that they have don't have any suspension and they just beat the crap out of you. So I'm on Craigslist. I follow a YouTube channel called Cars and Cameras, John and Isaac and the other guy. No, I can't. Charles. They'll go out and they'll buy these like really nice go-karts for $500. You know, like maybe the engine isn't running, and they'll clean the carburetor and suddenly it runs. $500 here for a go-kart buys you a frame that's rusted in half and doesn't even have an engine. Like I just want to send these people an email, a message, and be like, "Are you off your rocker?" Oh. Well, the two little ones together, yeah. But the problem is they still have no suspension. They're so small that Xander can't ride in. I mean, he's as tall as I am, but he can't fit in them anymore. So get a Land Rover and do an LS swap. That wouldn't be bad. Oh, I'm sure they've LS swapped everything. I considered it on my 92 Chevy, but I'm still going with the 454. So I just got excited. LS swap. Yes, so many things. I missed out on. I told Sean a while back that I want to get a OBS body style Chevy pickup truck. So that 88 to 98 range, standard cab short bed, which is the most sought after. But I want to turn it into a track truck, a drag strip truck, like a no prep. And I found one, and I missed it by like 2 hours. It had sold 2 hours before I reached out to the guy. It needed a motor, and the interior was missing a bunch of parts, which was perfect because I was going to gut it anyway. And nope, already sold. So 454 in your smart car. I told you, Uncle Ron, I want a smart car. I'm just going to put it in the back of my truck and drive around with it like it's a spare tire. And I've already measured; it'll fit.
I'm trying to find a library for these cards or these LEDs that'll work with the Arduino Nano. I found one, but like it doesn't tell you which, like it doesn't allow you to change the pin that they're connected to, and it doesn't tell you what pin they want it to be connected to.
Oh, that doesn't make any sense.
And then there's a bunch for like the ESP8266 and the ESP32.
I'll do some quick Googling here on this.
Yeah, because I'm just in the Arduino ID. I'm not looking outside it.
Fair market value 11.4, typical listing 11.9. So the fair market value on that, Sean, that 2013 is 11.485, but the typical listing on it is 11.9. People are insane. But it's not telling me. That's not telling me what I want to know. Engine.
Let's see.
Turbocharged gas, inline 4. That's an inline 4. Oh, that's all-wheel drive. I can't imagine that they would put a 4-cylinder in that. It's supposed to be a V8. Was that? You didn't say. Was it all-wheel drive, Sean? Someone swapped an LS into an MR2 once. We actually put a Chevy 350 in an MR2 once. That was back before there was an LS. Does the new DeLorean self-drive follows a white line anywhere? Oh, I see what you did there, Uncle Ron. That's not very nice. four-wheel drive.
I get it
Is
though.
it four-wheel
Gotta-
drive or all-wheel drive? Because those are two completely different things.
We have 7 minutes remaining. Can I do it? Almost guaranteed not.
6-speed shiftable all-wheel drive inline 4. Oh, see now I don't know, because the Jaguar engine that has the problems is a V8. I can't imagine only having a 4-cylinder in one of those. Be good on fuel, but and if it's all-wheel drive, it's not going to be. It says 4-wheel drive. Yeah, because if it's all-wheel drive, it's not going to be good for off-road at all. All-wheel drive is purely an on-road thing. Unless you can actually shift it. Like if you can force it into 4-wheel drive, that's different. Yeah, everything here is saying 4-cylinder turbocharged. I can't imagine only having a 4-cylinder in a Land Rover. They're heavy. I wonder if this will tell me. Range, capacity, 2-liter. That's the same size engine that's in my Talon. 240 horsepower, 250 foot-pounds of torque. Here, now we're getting into the meat. Ground clearance. Yeah, it's only got 8 inches of ground clearance. That would have to be modified. Why does it have, oh, that's dimensions, suspension. 4-wheel independent suspension. McPherson struts. Multi-link rear. Going down a rabbit hole. It does not list the weight. That's weird. It has all these specs, like how much headroom and all of this stuff, but it doesn't say how much it weighs. It can tow 3,500 pounds, which isn't much. Double overhead cam. I want to know who makes the engine. I'm gonna have to do some digging on that, Sean. Just out of curiosity to see, because I did not know that they were putting 4-cylinders in those things. So I mean, the good thing is that it's not the Jaguar V8, which had the issues, but insane how much power you can get out of a Talon. Yeah, that Talon at one point was running 12s in the quarter mile. So it's been detuned a little bit now because it was just unstreetable. That car is going to make an appearance on the channel. Probably sooner rather than later, because I can afford to work on that one. All the other projects I can't afford to work on. The next one that I'm trying to orchestrate it right now. That's the special one that the video is going to be in a certain format that I told you. That one should be fairly economical to fix everything, and then I get a cut of the profit when it sells. So that's going to fund other projects. So, but the Talon needs some love. I know that it needs a fuel pump. I put a cheap fuel pump in it a few years ago, and it just didn't react well. I know that the injectors need to be cleaned on it because it sat with bad gas in it for a long time.
You need a better fuel make it happener?
A better fuel make it happener, yep. The valve stem seals are dried out on it, so when you first start it, you get blue smoke, but only when you first start it. The bottom end on that motor was built very, very well by a very reputable builder, and I went to a higher compression, which everybody told me, oh, you can't go high compression with a turbo. Let me tell you, that thing spools up like yesterday. So yeah, that's a fun car. Well, you got 3 minutes. What are you doing?
I can't get it to write to the Arduino. I don't know what the problem is. I have sample code.
I'm tired. Must be late at night. Glad we don't do these as midnight streams. Oof.
Yeah, it's coming back with programmer not responding.
Well, you're the programmer. Respond.
It's true. Well,
A bald head shining bright, a symbol of strength and might. My dad, a guiding light, with love that shines so bright. No hair can cover his heart, full of love, a work of art, with wisdom, guidance, and a spark. He's always there, a constant mark. That's my child. Well, Sean, you know I'm always here for you, brother. Except for you can't text me because you don't have my phone number.
there used to the IDs changed. I think there used to be a way that I could set the baud rate, and now not so much. Tools.
But it's been so long since I've texted with Sean. Like he's like way down the list. Way down the list.
Let's see.
I hope that's still your same phone number. That would be. Oh, here's a fun story. I don't know if I've ever told this story, but when Sander was little, he was potty training, and he used to sit on his little trainer pot, and he had this little fake laptop computer that would just play music and stuff. And this was like last year. No, he must have been like 2 or whatever. And I snapped a picture of him sitting there. Now, you couldn't see anything. It was from the side, and he's just sitting there with his little laptop on his toilet. And I texted it to my mom, and I said, like father, like son. And I thought I was so clever. Except for my mom had gotten a new phone number. So the guy who had her phone number responded back and said, who is this? And I said, it's your son. And he said, I think you have the wrong number. So I texted a picture of my kid sitting on the toilet to a total stranger.
That's how you end up on a list.
Yep. But, I heard I'm on the watch list, so I'm going to get my watch. Oh, yeah. Tried convincing him to cut a window on the timing belt cover, draw some stop animation on the belt, and use the ignition to flash a light on it. Yeah, you could use a timing light. Actually, I think on the front of the 4G63s, on the top of the timing cover, there is a little window that you can open to inspect the belt, at least on mine. It's a 92. I always wanted to do a Mitsubishi Mighty Max, or what was the Dodge? Whatever the Dodge little pickup was. It was actually just a Mitsubishi with Dodge's name stamped on it, but the D50, Dodge D50. But I always wanted to do one of those with the turbo 4-cylinder out of a Eclipse or Talon. No, Pup was a Isuzu. The Isuzu was actually the first vehicle that I ever legitimately bought for myself. It was the first one that I ever had when I was driving that was mine. I mean, I owned like 6 cars before I ever even got my driver's license, but like my first car that I drove was a shared car with, my mom and I. And then I bought my Isuzu Pup. It was an 81. So let's hope that Glenn never gets a job sending out spam. No, I wouldn't send spam. I don't. I work to fight that stuff. Yeah, the Dodge was the D50. I'm also looking for a like 90s Nissan hardbody. I'd like to build another mini truck, and I think I would like it to be a Nissan. So I have a wish board of all these different vehicles that I want to do for the channel, not for my own personal benefit or anything, purely for the channel. Well, we should wrap it up because I got to go put my kid to bed.
Give me 2 more seconds. I'm just about done.
Yeah, you were 2 seconds late, and now you want to be 2 seconds.
Yeah, if I'd been on time, then everything would have been fine tonight. We'd be finishing this on time.
That's right.
Okay, hold on. I just gotta do this. I'm gonna switch this to 10 and 12, and then I just need to put the number of LEDs. Oh, it's already good. And upload.
And fingers crossed. And smoke. Oh.
I mean, I don't know if you can tell, but there's light coming out of things now.
Yes.
So that's what was supposed to happen. I'll add fancy code to make them do something later, but
Oh, okay. You just wanted to turn the lights on.
yeah, well, now that because I've now got code that works and I can manipulate them. So like
Anticlimactic.
Like if I wanted to be like, hey, guess what? This replicator now, it only does blood wine. All I have to do is do this. Import.
Well, you got anything you want to promote?
I have a new video that's coming out next week, and if you don't watch it, I'm literally going to have a nervous breakdown.
Listen, you guys have to go and watch this video that James is releasing. It's all I've heard about for like 7 months now.
To the point where he's just sick of it. He's sick of me.
He stresses over it, and he's like, "Oh, I'm never going to get this done in time." And I'm like, "Dude, you're the guy in control. You can release it whenever you want." Nope, it's got to be done this time. So,
there is a reason for that. There is a reason why there's a.
Yeah. Hello, Cass. Yes, he has a reason.
I will say that I have adjusted the script though, so that if that doesn't happen, that it's not the end of the world, just the end of my world.
But yeah, so definitely. And when's that coming out?
Some point next week. I'm not going to commit to a specific time now.
Okay. Well, that's kind of hard for everybody to watch for it.
Just watch for the. It's gonna, I think, come out. It's gonna be on the retro channel, and it's.
What's
gonna
the retro channel?
The Time
Traveling Technologist.
The Time Traveling Technologist.
So James is like you still get to the channel through the same links, which they are in the description of this video.
Yes, because those are now legacy links, so you can't actually go change them anymore.
Wow.
The at one changes. That's replacing it, I think. So.
Interesting.
Yep.
But yeah, so if you're not subscribed to James's other channel, do so. Ring that bell for notifications.
Yep.
And a thumbs up is always appreciated as well. Same here. If you haven't yet subscribed to Fun King Garage, I don't care if you subscribe to the 3D channel, but go subscribe to the Fun King Garage channel if you haven't already. I mean, if you're interested in cars. If you're not interested in cars, I don't care then. I promise you there is a video. I'm actually thinking about releasing a video right now just explaining to people why I haven't released a video. But between the project that I did on Uncle Ron's truck and the project that I knocked out in the garage this week, I should have, a little something sneaking out just to have some content. The biggest hang up right now is still sorting through all the video that I have to edit because I no longer have stuff that's organized. I've hit the end of the organized stuff and now it's just chaos. So I have to comb through the chaos, but it'll be okay. I'm not telling you that as a complaint. It's just where I am in life. So I sure can't wait until all this allergens calm down. With the rain tomorrow, hopefully that will calm it down. But man, my nose has been running and my eyes have been itching. So
I hope you get relief from that soon.
What's that?
Hope you get relief from that soon.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll happen. It's fine. At least it's not the COVID again. Other than that, I got nothing. You got anything?
That's it. The job that's controlled my life for the past since November.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Well,
But hey,
good,
the next time we stream, if all goes well, I'll be able to also show it off during that stream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And take live questions about it. So,
well, let's not go that far.
So this is the part where I say thanks to each and every one of you guys for tuning in. We appreciate it. Chat was just marvelous tonight. A lot of names that we hadn't seen in a long time, so that was fun. We do enjoy you guys popping in. Even if you can't stay for a long time, at least pop in and say hi so that we know that you were here. Not that I'd expect anybody to watch this for 2 hours. God. Oof.
Also, I want to give a shout out to Sean for recognizing the might of my beard.
The might of your beard? Yeah.
Yeah.
Your hockey beard? That's actually just to keep his face from freezing because it's so cold up there. You know,
hey,
like
thanks for
here, Sean. Like it's so cold here.
Thanks for not calling it ice hockey, by the way.
As opposed to
ground soccer,
roller hockey.
Go play some ground soccer.
Ground soccer. Let's go play some puck ball.
Hey, Bob Carnes is here. Bob Carnes is featured in my next video. Sort of.
Oh, really?
There's a shout out to Bob Carnes in my next video.
There you go, Bob.
He also corrected me because I've been pronouncing it Bob Carnes for a long time, and he's like, also it's more Carnes and not Carnes. I'm like, okay, got it.
Yeah, well, and I always fear that too because like a lot of the people that come in and watch us, like we don't necessarily ever get a chance to actually talk to them. So if that ever happens, if we're ever pronouncing your name wrong,
we don't care.
Don't hesitate. Like we're not in that situation where like we've passed the point where you can correct us. No, if we're saying it wrong, you just let us know. That is never ever an issue. And again, anybody that's hiding behind a screen name, if you want to share your regular name with us, we will always attempt to remember it. I'm bad with names, but I make a valiant effort to remember people's real names. So Bob said, I know it's never intentional. So but yeah, thanks to each and every one of you guys for tuning in. We really appreciate you being here. It was a fantastic stream, and the chat was absolutely lit up tonight. And
it was popping off.
Yeah. Whoop, whoop. And it is always appreciated. We're going to do it again next Thursday, unless James has other plans. And
it's funny, I was supposed to, and they got canceled. So
yeah, we're gonna have to pick a different night then. Thursdays seem to be awful busy for you. So, but yeah, thank you guys. Next week. So until next time, as always,
print on.